Good afternoon, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Oop, I'm trying to. There's way more boob showing than I planned. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're keeping well. This interestingly bright and somewhat sunny Sunday afternoon in London. For those of you who don't know me, I am Neka. I am based in London, South London to be exact. And we've been enjoying UK has been enjoying an unseasonably amount of sun. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like approaching. It's May right now. I can't believe it's May, guys. Approaching June, and it's not really surprising because the summer season is starting soon. So, but still, for the UK, Rain Island is shocking. So I'm just out here in my garden. I would love to show you my garden, but it's overgrown with grass and everything. In fact, if you see me doing my hands a lot like this, it's because of the amount of bees that are here. There are way more bees than there should be, and flies, because of the amount of plants that are here. So the garden is clearly overgrown, needs to be trimmed to the nth degree. All of that done, and I'm going to have a kind of with Love Megan girls get together, which I will film and share with you guys. I'm going to decorate the garden with lights, maybe a little mini garden bench where around here where we can, sit down and pretend that we're living in some Spanish Riviera a la Montecito. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're keeping well. This video in particular it's a bit of a stray. It's not a tech video. It's not a Meghan Harry video, but it's really about hair. I've got quite a number of comments about my sister locks. Shout out to the squaddies and people who are just genuinely interested. This is sister locks. Hopefully, it's showing up in the bright light. I'm in my not in my bathing suit, but I'm in my chill out outfit, and it's showing way more skin than I realized. So sorry, I'm not trying to be vulgar. That's why you see me leaning forward a bit, and I'm going to avoid moving back too much. But anyway, yeah, this is just me talking to you guys about hair, what I've been using. As per my video or my short, you would have seen that I said how Sacred helped me grow my hair, my sister locks, from where it was last year to this now. I showed you. If you can't see, please let me know. The hair is now the hair is now well past my nape. It's going down my back. It started growing down my back, if you can see it. Um, and yeah, I would say it's a mixture of two things. Now, this is not a sacred advertisement. I wish it was. Beyonce, run me some money. But yeah, it's really just an advertisement for our hair, for C hair. Now, for those of you who may not know, I am Nigerian. I can trace 3 generations to Nigeria. I've done a DNA test. I am 99% Niger. And I think there's an interesting. I am not by any means, I am not somebody who understands the full history of black hair. I mean, I've watched so many interesting videos, and there are people that are probably more equipped than me to give you that update. So I'm not going to go into the history of black hair, but I am going to tell you about my own hair, as for my experiences as a Nigerian growing up. So when I was a child, I had long hair. Shout out to my mom, like up to my back, lower back, long hair, but it was very relaxed. I'm not joking. I said this before, that I didn't realize that my hair, first of all, was type 4C, and I didn't realize that my hair had natural coils until I went natural when I came to the UK, and it had grown to a point where I could see the curls. I was genuinely shocked at how curly my hair was. I will never forget. I was kind of for somebody who came to the UK in her early 20s. It was shocking that I had waited, that I had gone through life that long, and I didn't realize, one, that my hair was 4C, and two, that my hair had coils. But that is, again, one of the problems that we had in Nigeria at that time. So for those of us who grew up around that time, who are, mid millennials, what I mean is people in their 20s, sorry, late 20s, Gen Zs. Now, I would say your 30s, entering 40s. I think you can't call yourself a millennial. I have no idea what you can call yourself. Anyway, if you grew up in Nigeria and we didn't have the amount of natural hair information that we had today, you probably understand what I was talking about not really holding up, carrying your natural hair was not seen as a thing to do. In fact, it was only the what we call scripture unions, those hardcore Christians that would never do anything in their hair, that we saw with natural hair. And even then, it was rare. a lot of women, and in our culture then, was the beauty was weaves, braids, and I think that is still the beauty standard we have in Nigeria today. Having locks was not even a conversation. It was seen as that whole, the term we used to use was ragamuffin. The term we used to use was, if you had weed, they would associate you with weed smoking, with the Rastafarian. Sorry, if you had locks, if they would associate you with weed smoking, Rastafarian lifestyle, which Nigerians did not promote and still do not like. Frankly, I'm going to be very honest with you. This is why whenever people say black, I'm always irritated by it, because I'm like, not all people of African descent share the same culture. I feel a lot of, and this is true, a lot of Western black American culture is seen as the standard around the world, forgetting that Africans, in as much as we look alike, Africans are different from Africans in diaspora, whether you're in Latin America, the Caribbean, America. We look alike, we share the same DNA, we share the same ancestry, but we're very different culturally. Nigerians, for all our affair, we are quite conservative as a culture, quite strict on many things. There are many things we will never tolerate and we will never do, and we don't like, right? So how I got into, so yeah, my natural hair experience, like I said, my hair got to my waist, and I will say it, even as Nigerian, with this backstory I've just given you, even though we glorified weaves, wigs, and extensions, I never liked not wearing my hair, because to me, I'll be very honest, my body has always been familiar. Leave me, as in, just I want to be able to leave myself in my natural state as much as possible. Something that my mom didn't like, frankly, something that my family members didn't like. Friends were like, oh, they will call you ugly, they will be annoyed with you, that why don't you want to go and braid your hair, why don't you want to go and do this, and I never understood, why should I conform to this? Why? I have hair. Why can't I just leave my hair alone? But people didn't understand that. They didn't, and they couldn't appreciate that some of us just don't like having things on our head. It's for me, it was a burden. It was hot. I thought it was. I've always thought weaves were ugly. Sorry, guys. The only people at that time when I was growing up that it looked good on was Beyonce, Destiny's Child, Black Americans, because you guys understood, or you had the industry to make those types of hair. When I was coming up, it wasn't easily accessible. It was quite expensive, and honestly, we didn't have the way we can talk to each other now. We didn't have that. That's the joy of being a millennial. I still very much remember the world before the internet. And now that the internet is kind of like so fundamental to our day to day, it's almost incredible to see. I wonder how things got done. We didn't see things as quickly as we should have, and we weren't able to talk to each other. So yeah, as I said, my hair got to my waist, but it was relaxed. I went to university in Nigeria briefly. I did my undergrad in Nigeria, and I cut my hair because I thought it was cool. And believe it or not, I'm not even joking. 19-year old, no, why am I saying 18-year-old, 19-year-old me thought, okay, I've cut my hair, now my hair will never grow back, because that was the consensus. It was never taught to us that your hair works just like any other person's hair. This idea that black hair, once you cut it, will never grow is insane. If you think about it logically, I mean, that is insane. And why have we as a culture allowed ourselves to fall for that nonsense? Well, like I said, I'm not here to solve everybody's problem. I'm just telling you my own experience. So yeah, I never thought I would grow my hair properly. When I came to the UK, I decided no more relaxers. I want to go natural, and I have been natural for about 14 years. Yeah. Where did the sister locks thing come from? So I first locked my hair May 2022. Why? We were just coming out of the pandemic. I was about 14 kg overweight. I was miserable. I was living in Essex at the time. I couldn't wait to get out of there. And getting out of there meant I was breaking up with someone. So, but I just had to go. It was too much. And it was too boring. And I couldn't, as a Londoner, somebody who likes the idea of being around things easily, living in that environment was absolute torment for me. So I left that location, and I will never forget this. I went to a girls get together thing, a meetup, and a lady there had sister locks, and I kept on staring at her hair. And I came up to her and I was like, I adore your hair. She was like, oh wow. And I was like, tell me your secrets. Tell me, because I have been seeing locks. I've seen free form locks, which I'll be honest, I wasn't really a fan of. I saw some other types of locks, but I don't think I had properly interacted with anybody who actually had sister locks. So she explained to me, her process. That she gave me my current loctician's number. I called her. She's a busy woman. She's a mom with 4 kids. So she had to do some checks. She checked the length of my natural hair at that time, which was quite short. It was it was in a bad state. I was losing hair. So I was so embarrassed about my hair that I would just pour water on it, let it lie down, pack gel, and pack it back. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't the pretty style. It was clearly the style of somebody who was struggling and had given up and was just, and yes, don't judge me, I started wearing wigs. And then it just reminded me why I hated wigs in the first place, how unnatural it looked. I don't care how well you lay your hair down, how much you melt the lace. It doesn't look natural, guys. I'm sorry, spoiler. People know it's not your hair. And because I work in corporate environments, it always made me feel uncomfortable. It always made me feel a bit judged, to be honest. So anyway, that's me. I locked my hair May 2022, and honestly, I liked it. A lot of people were telling me that, oh, they don't like, I see things about the so-called ugly stage. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I loved it. Okay, fine. That first time when you lock it, it feels like it's 1-1. You can see a lot of your scalp. I can see why people will feel uncomfortable with it. But after like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and your undergrowth begins to grow, and you go for your first retie, and you start pouring water on your hair, and it begins to fatten up a bit. I thought it was so cute. It was like the cutest curly pixie cut on my hair. I'm looking for pictures. If I get them, I'll post it in the post as a post for the pictures I took. I thought my hair looked cute. I don't believe in ugly stage. Again, this whole inherent hatred of 4C hair that makes black women and men so uncomfortable with their hair. Jeez, it's a deep thing. Anyway, yeah, so I'll just say something right off the bat, right? I lost about 6-7 months while I was locking my hair. Why? And what I mean by that is because I have 4C hair, and I'm not. I will just segue very quickly. I noticed that a lot of Black Americans and blacks in diaspora I've seen what you call 4C, and while I can understand why you call it 4C because of the nature of the coils, I don't think you have 4C hair. I think many of you have 4B, 4A, because, like I said, I can trace 3 generations of my family to Nigeria. So I believe, and I've done a DNA test, and I know that I am 99% Nigeria. Well, the DNA tells me 99% West African. If you look at my curls, right, and it's not just the curls, my hair is dense, as in it is dense. It is like, I truly believe. I always joke and say my hair came from the ancestors, because it is the curls. There is no give. I remember as a child, my mom used to hate doing my hair. I mean, and I used to hate doing my hair. I was very tender head, no matter what, because they didn't know how to detangle my hair. So they would start combing from the roots, and I wanted literally to die. I would be crying and everything. They were torturing me with my hair. And obviously, now that I know better, if I was doing it to my daughter, I would first of all get her hair wet, start from the ends, and I most likely wouldn't comb it the way they were trying to comb my hair. Guys, the reason why your hair is not growing is the way you comb your hair. There's this idea that you need to straighten your hair no matter what, right? And it's weird. And this is why our hair breaks. This is why we have traction alopecia. Our coils, by the very nature of how tightly coiled it is sensitive. You have to be careful, right? But that's neither here. Let me not go off on a segue. Anyway, so I got my coils done. Sorry, what was I talking about just now? I've lost my train of thought. Sorry, I got into it. But yeah, I got my hair locked. Yes, the reason why it took so long. Yes, so I started washing my hair properly before my hair locked. And I remember that when I went for my loctician I will never forget this. I went for, this was like maybe 4 months in, 5 months in. She went off on me. She was like, why is your hair unraveling? I was like, oh, I'm washing. It's like, are you braiding and banding? I was like, no. she went off. You're like, no, 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 don't do that again, because your hair hasn't locked. Your hair needs to lock before you can start doing, before you can start washing it. And also, you shouldn't be washing your hair at that frequency. I disagree, but I'll get to that point. Anyway, I agreed with her. I thought, okay, you know what? Let the hair lock. So I left my hair, did my braiding and banding with a bit more vigilance, and another 3 months my hair started to properly lock. And by 2023 ending, I could see, okay, yeah, yeah, you're locking now, you're locking properly. Like I said, I lost 6 months because of the excessive washing. So that brings me to 2024. So I heard that Beyonce, I mean, we all saw Beyonce's hair care come out, right? And I was looking at it and I was like, I first of all looked at the price points and I thought, okay, this is expensive, Beyonce. But I thought, you know what, let me give it a shot. And I'm not even joking, guys. So I brought the bottles here. Excuse the conditions, the bottle. So this is the Sacred I got the clarifying shampoo. I got the hydrating shampoo. And those are the only two things I bought. And I brought the rose water protein treatment. And those are the first three things I bought. And I used it. And if you look at my short, you will see me showing my hair off at that point. That was just after my first wash. And I won't lie, the feeling, I like the way my hair felt. It just felt strong. It felt, I can't describe it. There's a way it looked and felt that I thought, okay, this is so cool. I like this. I'm going to give this a shot. Now, the one thing about me, when I try new products, whether it's facial products or skincare or hair care, I give it at least 3 months. Why? You need to see, your hair needs to get used to it, and you need to see for yourself, okay, if I use this over an extended amount of time, this is what my hair would look like. So I liked it. And Sacred is what I use now. So I decided to extend it, and when I did my next restock, I got the reconstructive mask and the deep conditioner. And again, the reason I did that was, like I said, guys, my 4C is very, 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 I have very tight curls, very, very, I call it my gift from the ancestors. So I just wanted to see if the conditioner could do anything for my scalp. At that point, I just wanted something nice to, like, massage into my scalp and let it sit with me. And I love that conditioner, by the way. What I do after my wash is I use the clarifying shampoo, which of course strips the hair of all the oils. I use the hydrating shampoo, which is just, the slip is really lovely. It just feels so good. And of course, the smell is fantastic. And then I would add the deep conditioner, not all the time, the deep conditioner maybe every 6 weeks. And I'll do the deep conditioner after I do the protein treatment. And my hair just started to, I don't know, again, I have this mindset about it. While I do believe that Sacred is a very proteinous treatment, and it works very well with hair, I do think another thing that also contributed to the hair growth was just washing the hair regularly. I don't know, I can't describe it. I'll say it this way, right? I truly believe that our hair, the way we treat our hair, our body, is very spiritual. So if, for example, you are always talking bad about your hair, you look at your hair as this thing that shouldn't be gently touched, that shouldn't be gently cared for, you will not take care of your hair well. Let's keep it real. If you feel like your hair is just the foundation that you need to mount your weave or to mount your braids, of course you wouldn't take care of your hair well. Of course you wouldn't think that maybe I shouldn't be combing it like this, I shouldn't be too aggressive. Of course you wouldn't softly touch your hair. Of course you wouldn't gently massage your scalp as you are washing your hair, because to you it is just a thing that you need to do to get to where you want to go to with your artificial hair. So enjoying the wash day experience and wanting to get my hair wet, because I also think it's partly the reason why the hair has grown this much. I think because sometimes during the week, the one thing I love about leaving my hair out is when I'm an engineer, so I could work 10 hours straight just trying to solve a problem. There's nothing like stepping into the shower and standing under the shower and feeling the water just running through your scalp. It's so relaxing. It's so, it feels like, It's a beautiful sensation, honestly. So yeah, I think the fact that I introduced more water into my, and not I said water, I didn't say washing. Literally just allowing water to flow through my hair, washing, the excitement of the wash day, which means that I get to be happily following my sacred treatments properly. I really believe that's part of the reason why the hair grew so much in a year. And yeah, so I just wanted to give. I know I've gone off on a tangent, but yeah, I guess to summarize the whole thing, I've been using Sacred for a year. I started off with the clarifying shampoo, the hydrating shampoo. Over time, I bought the protein treatment and the reconstructive mask and the deep conditioner. And I also got when Beyonce released the hydrating conditioner, I got that too. This entire thing has contributed to my hair growing quite long, and I'm grateful, and I continue to recommend it. I am going to post in the chat what my hair looked like 6 months after using Sacred, which would have been 2020. Actually, no, which would have been December last year, and what my hair looks like now. So you can see it live now, right? You can see the length. Like I said, it's past my shoulder. It's past my neck. It's past my neck. If you can't see it, if you can't, that's okay too. And I look forward to growing the hair some more. For those of you that are thinking of natural hair, wanting to go back to your roots, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not going to preach at you because I don't think that's necessary. We all have our traumas related to our hair experience, especially as black women. But I will say this, right? One, when you wear those lace wigs, it doesn't look like your hair. Sorry, nobody is buying it. Two, honestly, I prefer black women in braids because at least okay, the braids are most likely an expression and extension. It's more natural. And three, if you can, just embrace your hair. Now, I know some of you are saying, oh, I have alopecia. Well, I do too because actually, this was an accident. A relaxed experience burned a lot of my hair here. And I think it damaged something. I'm using the reconstructive mask. I don't know. But that's why you always see me with my hair like this. I know some of you are struggling with alopecia. You're worried how the world will conceive you. I think black women look prettier, younger, and nice with their natural hair. Whatever your natural hair may be. Don't be shy. Don't be scared to go out with your hair. And for many of you that are complaining your hair is not growing, let me tell you why your hair is not growing in very simple English. Leave your hair alone. Leave your hair alone. Black men are going locked, and in like 6 months, their hair is my length. How are they pulling that off? We're all the same DNA. So black men, if their hair can grow, why can't ours? Leave your hair alone. You don't need a protective. A lot of the so-called protective styles people are doing. You're pulling braids into your hair. That is still pulling on your hair. You're wearing wigs. Okay, well. Again, that can be a problem too because when you braid your hair down to put the wigs on, if you don't wash your hair, if you don't leave your hair to get fresh air, it's like, this is how I describe it in closing. It's like you're complaining that you have bad skin, but then you found out that you're always wearing a complete covering shirt. You never take that shirt off. You don't wash that shirt. You sweat in that shirt. You're dry in that shirt. So if you get blisters and injure yourself, you still have that shirt on. So your skin never gets a chance to breathe. You don't shower. You're not able to get water to touch your skin, and our body responds to touch. You can't massage your skin. You can't put suntan oil. You can't put creams, moisturizers. So your skin is going to suffer by the time you take off that shirt. After wearing it for like 2-3 weeks, after taking it off, you will see you will have blisters, you will have marks on your body. Maybe your skin is rough and weird, dry, spoiled skin because you won't leave your skin alone. Think of that whenever you're doing these protective hairstyles. If it's a thing that doesn't allow your scalp to breathe, because the scalp is the foundation of our hair. If your black hair cannot breathe daily, if your black hair if you literally cannot put water in your hair daily, then whatever protective hairstyle you are doing is not the best. And yeah, those are just my thoughts, guys. I am also going to disclaim and say I appreciate some people have thin hair. My sister has thin hair. I appreciate some people have special types of hair that makes it have genuine health concerns. And I am not referring to you. I am referring to the large majority of black women who really their hair is fine, is okay. They just need to learn how to leave their hair alone and let it do what it's supposed to do. Stop trying to straighten it. Stop trying to make your hair do what it is not designed to do. Your hair will grow. There are lots of YouTube channels on this place showing women who have been able to grow waist length hair by following certain things, by just leaving their hair alone and being proud of their hair. So yeah, these are just my thoughts. Like I said, I'm not marketing for Sacred. You don't have to buy it. The price point is not cheap. The shampoos, conditioners are about £20 approximately, so it's not a cheap thing to use. And but I will say they are thick enough. Like with the clarifying shampoos, the one thing it struggles with is, let me show you the nozzle. This nozzle here. I think the plan is to put it on like that, put it on like that. Sometimes you don't need to do that. You could I sometimes just put it in my hand, put it off in my hand, rub my hand, and just start massaging my scalp. Because for me, the place I genuinely want to wash is my scalp. And then I continue and just use my hands and wash the strands of my hair. And let me close with this last thing. Let me get you here. This guy. So I'm hoping Beyonce brings out a living conditioner line. I tend to do a lot of things outside. I do my bike rides. I go for hikes. I sit down outside a lot in the sun, and because of as my hair can be quite dry, so I like to use my leave-in conditioner, and I'm doing that just to keep, because for someone like me, I like my hair moist. I like to feel that. I like to feel, according to me, I call it. I like to feel like my hair has drank water. I like that whole moist, soft, wet, not wet, I'll just say moist feel, if you will. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the chat. I know this video is way longer than I wanted it to be. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Do you use Sacred? Were you thinking of using Sacred? I highly recommend it. I give it 100%. I think it's great for our hair. I don't know what Beyonce has done in here, but I like it. It's not harsh on my hair. It feels good. Initially I was iffy when I found out that it was for all hair types, but I like it. I like it. Some of you may not like it, because I know a lot of people that have 4C hair want that slip, but honestly I found it very beneficial, and as you can see, it has grown my hair. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the chat. Take care. Bye.